Hello and welcome. This is DruVision IT Consulting. It is September 2023, and this is yet another part in our IT Quick Bites 5 minutes. Okay, today we're going to talk about the incident process. What is it? What's it for? Why is it so important to you as an IT consumer, you as an IT participant in the process, and what can it ultimately do for your company? Um, I'll tell you this, having a bad, poor, or non existent incident process is a quick way to go to blow up, right? It's really how do you respond when things go wrong, right? And how do you know what to prioritize? Sometimes when it rains, it pours, man. Like, your financial system is down, CIO's laptop is dead, your backups aren't working right. How do you look at all of these different incidents and know which ones you should focus on first? So this is going to be IT concepts in 5 minutes. We'll see if I can actually make it less than 10. We're going to give it a serious go today. So with that, this is Drew Vision. Enjoy the episode. So let's get right into it. I think this definition is good. There's a number of them out there, ISO definitions, ITSM, ITIL, etc. Perhaps your organization defines it a little bit differently, but generally speaking, it's anytime a process or service, remember that's all technology is a service. It is technology doing something for you or someone, um, that doesn't work as intended, right? It's super simple, right? There's not really a lot to think about. Something broke, ain't good. All right. So, how do you classify it? What are the types of incidents, right? And traditionally, I would say that the types of incidents, you'll see here, there's three bullets. I'll get into major incident in just a minute, right? Major incident is derivative of the first two, but there's really two ways to look at the types of incidents, right? And that's based on classifying them by either severity or by priority. And so um, the easiest way to think of the difference here is severity would be IT's view of the world, and priority is the business's view of the world. As an example, right, is something you lost all of your backups for every application at your company. That's a Sev 1. That sucks. That's horrible. But your users aren't going to know, and your business, at least in the moment, they're not going to even notice, right? Um, Whereas priority, so that's hugely severe, right? That'd be a Sev 1, and generally it's from 1 to 5, with the 1 being the most severe, 5 being least severe or low severity or low priority. In the case of priority, um, it's not having an immediate impact on the business, ergo, it's not a P1. Now, your legal department's going to say, well, you really need to have some backups for all your legal holds and other details. So they might rate it as a P2, whereas IT would view it as a Sev 1. Possibly you might call it a P3. I doubt it. But you can see how there's a difference there, right? Um, by contrast, uh, if your CEO's laptop dies, severity wise, it might be a severity 3 or 4 or 5. It depends on whether or not you have VIP users in your incident process or not. It's not like a super huge deal, but look, if your CEO can't do his or her job, that's a P1. All day, every day, your CEO's got to be able to do his or her job, period. So that would be a P1, right? So that's a good example of the difference between the two, right? Now, a major incident would be a combination of factors. Is it a severity 1 or 2 incident? Is it a priority 1 or 2 incident? What are the systems involved? And essentially what it is you're invoking, I'll call it an extra special incident process. You're going to bring in extra special people. You're going to bring in your management chain. You're going to start sending off notifications to the business, et cetera. I'm going to do an entire episode just on the major incident process. it will look different than what we're going to get into on this slide here. And this is what does an incident process look like? Well, you can see here from our previous episode, the swim lane diagram. Essentially, swim lane one, that's the one on top, is a user or an automation system, maybe it's a monitoring system, etc. It can be anyone or anything. Says something's not working right. Okay, so we're going to create a ticket, whether that's an email or going into a tool like ServiceNow, where I'm going to go to a portal and I'm going to type it up, or I'm going to use some type of monitoring bot to send a particular error message. To the system of record. Um, in this case, swim lane 2 is an AI bot. You may or may not have this. It may or may not be included in your particular brand of help desk software that you're using, your IT service management software. Um, you could use a tool like Watson. There's a number of different tools. I think ServiceNow comes with some of their own bots. And essentially, it's going to check, is the ticket valid? And do I know where the ticket goes, right? If it doesn't know, it'll send it to level one. If it knows that level one can do it, it'll send it to level one. If it has no clue, it'll send it to level one. If it has a clue and it knows level one can't do it, it'll go ahead and route it to the very bottom swim lane that you see there. So our third swim lane is level one. You want them doing the most number of tickets as possible because they're the cheapest people. Whether they're in India or the US, you pay them less, right? And so you want the most volume of tickets as possible to be done by your level one resources simply because it's cheaper and it's faster, and doggone it, it's all they have to do is work on tickets. Your level 2, 3 resources generally have day jobs, right? They're usually doing minor enhancements or major projects, right? They're doing something significant to applications in their resolver group. And I'm going to do an episode all about resolver groups, what I think are the best ways to create your queues in a subsequent episode, because this is only 5 minutes, not 10. We'll go into that in a different episode. But that's essentially what a incident process looks like. The goal, of course, is the top go. You see the top right corner, the end process circle up in the swim lane one. That means the end user's issue is resolved. You don't want the bottom right end process, which is usually triggering a problem process, or you give it up, right? You simply can't fix it. And sometimes that happens. So anyway, if you like and subscribe, I would be so grateful. It really would touch me from the bottom of my heart. We're trying to grow our exposure, grow our channel, and get more great content out for you, the viewers. So I hope you learned a little bit of something. This is IT Quick Bites, IT Concepts in 5 minutes. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.